My name is Brooke Kramer, and I'm the Children's Program Director at the Manhattan office. So, working with children and youth, I think that we have many entry points to challenge stereotypes, gender roles. In our program, we do a lot of outreaches in schools, both in middle schools and in high schools. And a big component of that is talking about gender roles and kind of this man box and what that looks like, and how that both confines young boys and young men, but also how it really impacts women and the way in which we see women and their place in the world and who they are and what they can do. So that on the professional level is one place where we're really able to have a big impact, because we see a lot of children for counseling, but our biggest outreach and the way that we're able to reach the most children is through these school outreaches. So that's definitely a place where we're able to have very explicit conversations about gender roles and how they impact relationships. Also, in our individual counseling, we're able to talk about gender roles a little bit and challenge the assumptions that kids come in with, but also helping them to really look at what they've been taught, and what they come to think is normal and why they think it is that way. So whether it be that girls can only play with dolls and boys can only play with trucks, or some more nuanced understandings of what it means to be a man or what it means to be a woman, we can really work with them and have them understand why they came to think the way that they did, and how it's impacting them. So, personally, I became a new mom to a little girl 8 months ago. And going through my pregnancy, we decided not to find out the gender of our baby, because I think that we don't already have to start placing these expectations on what a child is going to be based on their gender before they even are born into the world. So it was really important for us that we didn't know, and then whatever gender the child came out as, we would treat that child the same way on day one. It wouldn't be a pink room if it was a girl or a blue room if it was a boy, but that we were having a baby, and this baby was going to be loved and cared for the same way, no matter what the gender was. So I think that just even having that conversation with people, when people would ask me, is it a boy or a girl? And I would be able to have that conversation and kind of challenge people around, why is it so important to find out and to know? If I found out it was a boy, I would not treat that boy any differently than I would treat a girl. So being a new mom, this is something that I'm constantly thinking of. And when people say, oh, your daughter is so beautiful, or she's such a little princess, really trying to challenge that and what that means. And already at such a young age, I don't want to place those stereotypes on her, and I want her to be able to be whatever she wants to be. So if that means she grows up and she does want to be a princess and she wants to play with dolls, then I would support that, but also giving her room to be able to play with trucks or be a fireman, or whatever the more traditional boy things. So I think it's really important for us to start talking to children very early about emotional health, especially our young boys. This culture and society inundates us with messages all the time about what it means to be a boy or what it means to be a man, and saying, boys don't cry, men don't cry, you have to hold in your feelings, be tough, be strong. And over time, young boys can really begin to internalize that and stop showing their emotions or stop talking about their feelings. But it doesn't mean that they're not having those feelings. So oftentimes when young boys will stop talking about feelings or always needing to man up, they just bury those feelings, and they can sometimes then come out and present as aggression. So if we're not giving young boys this platform where they're able to talk about feeling sad or feeling scared, or feeling angry, then they might just start to show those feelings. And oftentimes when they're showing them, they're being shown in aggression, especially if they're getting all of these messages that boys don't cry